Hi everyone, this is Arcadius and welcome back to Naval. Today we'll be going over Gneisenau, the German Tier 7 battleship, as well as her new and improved secondary battery. Now she used to have a secondary battery range of 5.0 kilometers that has now since been updated to 6.5 kilometers, and it is actually pretty okay to run a secondary build on this ship. Before, I always focused for gun rotation or reload or even accuracy, considering she only has 6 main guns. Um, but now that she actually has decent secondary range, secondary build is not terrible at all. So we're going to run with the secondary enhancement module, and we also have the cruise skill as well. And so we're going to go with a full secondary build and see what kind of damage we can do today. Before that, like I said, we do have a new sister ship as well. I don't think we've actually shown a video of it so far. I did show the camo when it came out, but I don't think we played one so far. This is the new camo. I've renamed the ship Kiel after a German port. And besides the camo and the changes to the secondaries, there's nothing really different about the ship. We still have the same health, torpedo resistance, armor, all that jazz. The ship as full AA build is kind of interesting as well if you really would like to. But let's toss her into game and see what we can do. Alright, let's see what kind of video we have today. Or game, I should say. 6 battleships, only 1 cruiser, and 4 destroyers. Okay, this is actually a pretty good game. So there's no carrier, which is fine. We're not the strongest AA ship. We do have pretty good long range, but we're not going to survive very long against the carrier since our maneuverability is kind of garbage. We have Gneisenau, Lyon, Nagato, Hood, another Lyon, Colorado, Nagano, Leningrad, Akatsuki, and 2 Fubukis. So our secondaries are going to pretty much tear the cruiser and destroyers apart. And we can do some pretty decent work on the battleships as well. Now, considering I only have 6 main guns, however, I would love to rush in there, but my lack of offensive firepower kind of forces me to go to the side here. Though you could definitely bow tank here, but as soon as they got your side, it'd be over for you. You just don't have the health to tangle and brawl very effectively. Now I do have health buffs and speed buffs applied, so that's why my health and speed are a little bit higher than you would normally see in the game. So we've got our torpedoes loaded. She's one of 3 German battleships that have torpedoes now. We have nope. Well, technically Scharnhorst is a cruiser, but I still think of her as a battleship because that's where she should be. But we have Gneisenau, Tirpitz, and Friede de Gross as torpedo-laden German battleships. Alright, so we have Hood over here. There's one of the Lyons. We probably won't do much against this target, but let's find out. She is turning a little bit. And we're going to try and get into secondary range pretty quickly here. Now, taking the secondary module does mean you have to you can't run a full accuracy build with the ship, which is what I was doing, because with 6 shells, you're going to make sure they go where you want them to. So I have noticed a drop in accuracy, obviously, after removing that, which kind of makes it harder to do damage with your main guns, because you're kind of sailing a 15-inch shotgun at this point. See, my secondaries are opening up at about 8.2 kilometers, which is a lot better than they were in the last video. Alright, so yeah, we're already shooting these, like this Fubuki here, already getting some damage here. I do see that 1 torpedo there. We do not get hydroacoustic search, unfortunately. That would be a very nice addition to the ship, however, it is also quite low in tier to get that. So we're okay for right now, but we just have to be a little bit more careful. And we're going to start tingling with this Leon over here. But in the meantime, our secondaries are going to be focusing on these destroyers. So let's focus on this Fubuki here first. gonna send some shells into this thing on. We got one of the destroyers. Let's focus on... Oh, she disappeared, actually. There's another destroyer right there. So now we're going to turn just in case there's torpedoes. Let's put a couple more shells into the side of this Leon. We have another one over there. And there's Kabuki. So I don't actually have to select this target because my secondaries will be shooting whichever one is more of a threat, honestly. So we're just going to ignore those. She's not at a good angle to torpedo me anyways. Oh, my secondaries are shooting all the way out to 9+ kilometers now. Nice. So there goes that one. And yeah, this is how the ship plays now. You literally just sail around and your secondaries are going to do a ton of work, light a bunch of fires. See if we can get some more citadels on this thing on over here. No, but that's fine. Well, there's another citadel. But yeah, your secondaries are actually pretty useful now. You're setting a ton of fires. I have 10 fires already. And I have not fired a single 15-inch high explosive shell. There was another destroyer right there. See, it's cases like this where hydroacoustic search would be very, very nice. But since we don't get it, then we just kind of have to play with the mindset that there may always be torpedoes here. Now, your secondaries are going to be better at longer ranges, so they come in from a high angle and hit the superstructure, versus getting in really close and having them just shatter against the belt armor. But you can still do some pretty decent damage if you rush in still. Just not against heavily armored targets. See, there's another fire. But where I am right now, I'm not really in a good position to do any kind of main gun damage. Alright, so the Kiel is now engaging me since I'm within 6.5 kilometers. Let's actually try and finish her off because she's, as of right now, the only one that can do damage to me. And we're going to focus her down with secondaries. Oh, there goes one. Let's work on Hood here. And you know what? Heck with it. Let's send some torps out towards Leon. We can pop a heal, even though we don't really need to. See if we can get some citadels underneath that first turret. There we go. Awesome. Seconder is going to start working over Leon. Now, she doesn't have that much superstructure, so my ability to actually get damage is kind of limited, but she's down anyways. How are those torps looking? Well, we got one of them, but she's already down, so we didn't get the damage from it, but that's fine. And then let's just kind of rush this Colorado here. I could definitely do a ton of damage with secondaries on this ship. However, she has a lot bigger guns than me, and if she gets a good angle, those will definitely hurt. Now my secondaries will... Oh, that was a bad hit. Will also tear her apart. But let's see what we can do. I don't think we'll be able to get close enough to use torpedoes this time. She'll go down before that. But we're definitely going to get some good damage out of this game, I'll tell you that. And then just one last salvo here, potentially. Yep, there we go. Alright, so let's see how we did. You can see how much fun the ship is now. It's kind of like Bismarck, just at a lower tier. This is really what the ship needed. Alright, so how much damage were we able to do? 300,000 damage. We did our sank 8 ships, 69 shell hits, 2 aircraft shot down, 6 citadels, 12 fires, 2 modules destroyed, 3 defended caps, and 419 secondary hits for 11,000 base XP and over 700 free XP. Main battery, 176,000 damage and armor piercing, fires did 50,000 damage, and secondary battery did almost 75,000 damage. That's a lot of damage. And mind you, it set every single fire we set. So that was 12 fires, plus the damage it already had as well. So yeah, it's pretty good actually. You can, if you have a game, you can almost get as much damage with your main guns as your secondaries and the fires that they cause. So you are just completely in a class of your own at this point, and the only real way to take care of you is carriers, because your AA, though pretty good, is not the best, and you also have a lack of maneuverability, so torpedoes there. And then just anything with large caliber shells. So if a battleship gets your broadside, you're not going to be citadeled, but you're certainly going to take a ton of chunk damage, especially if those are 16-inch shells. But this ship is a lot more powerful now. So if you haven't played her recently, go ahead, do it. You may actually find her a lot more enjoyable than before. But like I said, with you having to remove the aiming system module, your accuracy does kind of go down the drain, and you kind of have to get to mid or short range to actually make those guns work pretty effectively. With that, I will wrap up today's video. If you like the video, make sure you like and subscribe for further content. And next time, we are going to go over the beginning of North Carolina all the way up to Montana and show you the new accuracy that these ships have. So again, thank you so much and take care.